Do you think God blesses the Mormon Church? Could God's Spirit be upon the Church? The Church undergoes a lot of scrutiny and unfavorable labels. Some have called it a cult. Others say they are misled and aren't true Christians. They have been criticized as being racists in the past. Many say the male-dominated leadership is a way of making women inferior. There are so many things that have been said about the Church that time won't permit me to go on. So that brings me to what is perplexing me. And what might perplex you viewers also. I have seen videos that poke fun at the Church because it was started by a 14-year-old young boy. Actually, he didn't start it until years later. When he was 14, he went to pray in a grove of trees seeking an answer from God about which church he should join. There were so many churches in his town and each claimed to be the true church. He was confused and he wanted an answer. So, according to his version, he saw two personages descend from the sky. They claimed to be God the Father and his Son Jesus. He was instructed not to join any of the churches and that he was to start his own. Naturally, when he reported this in town, he was laughed at and called insane. You would have to admit this is a little hard to swallow. We may have laughed just like the others. But here's the thing that perplexes me. It's now almost 200 years later and the church is still operating. It's operating and growing fast. It is now the richest church in the United States with over $150 billion. The church doesn't brag on itself, but it sends millions and millions of dollars to other countries for aid. Not only that, but it spends millions right here in America for aid. They basically control Utah, and Utah is thriving. It's listed as one of the most desirable places to live. The church practically built Salt Lake City, Utah. The temple sits in Temple Square along with other church buildings. This is where thousands come from around the world 2 times a year for general conference. Either that little boy was a psychic of some sort or God is in this church. I'll tell you a story that I have seen firsthand. Some of the other churches there talk about the Latter-day Saints pretty badly. They say they are not serving the true God, or his Son Jesus. When any of the members have a large financial emergency and come to the pastors for help, they're told to go to the Mormon Church for help. I thought that to be quite ironic. So from that little boy's faith they have grown into this huge church. Mitt Romney is a member of the church and has run for president. I would say that puts them in the mainstream. If God was not in it, why would it go on so long? If he wasn't in it, how could it prosper? People talk about the sacred underwear that the Mormons wear. The way I see it, that makes them the richest underwear in Christianity. There is a verse in the Bible in Acts verse 38 that embodies the Mormon mission. The disciples were told to leave a group alone that wasn't associated with them who were preaching. They said if this group is of human origin, it will come to nothing. So my question about the church is, why hasn't it come to nothing if it was of human origin? Why does it keep growing and flourishing? Where is all of that blessing coming from? They are some of the kindest people you've met. They are some of the most helpful people you've met. I've known some people who have joined to get help making ends meet. One friend told me he was joining to get a place to stay for him and his son. I saw him about a month later and he had a place and he got a job through him. They help so many residents in Utah get a job with the church welfare unit. They get trained in various skills to better themselves. So before you reach out to condemn them, you might want to check the condition of your own church. Give me a thumbs up if you like the church.